Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of The Father of All Things, a Marine, his son, and the Legacy of Vietnam, by Tom Bissell, narrated by Kerin McCue, with Jonathan Davis, Julia Gibson, Nick Landrum, Norm Lee, and Nancy Wu, and directed by Jeffrey Brick. This book is copyrighted 2007 by Thomas Carlyle Bissell. This recording is copyrighted 2007 by Recorded Books. The author opens this book with the following two quotes. The first is by Heraclitus. War is the father of all and king of all. Some he shows as gods, others as men. Some he makes slaves, and others free. The second quote that opens this book is from a U.S. Marine's email from Iraq, written on March 17, 2004. Last night I flew with a division of 3 helos out over the western side of Takadam. It's low light level over here, which just means there's now moonlight, very dark. It's hard to tell the ground from the air. We went for a landing and decided it was too dusty, so we headed back into the airfield and practiced lands on the runway. While we were doing our touch-and-goes, there was a lot of small arms fire east of us, about 3 to 5 miles in the city of, well, I can't say 'cause I can't spell it. Anyways, I thought it was cool. On the night vision goggles, you can see all the tracers shooting high in the sky. But I don't know what they are shooting at. There was nothing over there. And now, the Father of all things.
Author's Note. More than 30,000 books on Vietnam are currently in print. Why another? One might, and probably did, ask. Especially a book written by someone who was not even alive in March 1973. When the last of the U.S. combat troops returned home. I bring to what the Vietnamese call the American War only this. I have spent most of my life thinking about it. Vietnam has occupied a larger portion of my mind than perhaps any other topic. The reason for this is as simple as it is elemental. Like 3 million other Americans, my father served to prevent the Republic of Vietnam's collapse to the forces of a largely communist insurgency aligned with a neighboring nation known as the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. Like an estimated 800,000 other Americans, my father saw combat during his service. What I could not know about my father, because of his experience, has always fascinated and troubled me. When the opportunity arose to travel to Vietnam with my father, I accepted instantly, unaware that the magazine piece I intended to write would prove so consuming that I would have no choice but to address our trip and its personal reverberations at much greater length. I say the war occupied a huge portion of my mind, but would not dare claim any real suffering because of this. The war did not torment or haunt or injure me. Rather, Vietnam was an abstract shadow that rarely left my other thoughts undarkened. Why might this be? As the literal and spiritual children of veterans who fought the only war in which the United States failed to enact its will, many of us came of age with a view of warfare virtually unknown in the United States since the aftermath of Appomattox, when Confederate children saw their own fathers stumble home in defeat. Many of us grew up ashamed of our father's war, and sometimes of our fathers themselves. This book is thus my attempt to speak for myself while confronting something I believe many younger Americans feel. I wanted to write a book that was specific to my own experience, but also engaged with the universal. In this spirit, I have included a fair amount of what I found to be the more fascinating aspects of, and questions about, recent Vietnamese history. I realized early on that, though I had read a number of books about the Vietnam War, I
Sample complete. Ready to continue?